Which one is the Xeno and which one is the 89 Sabers? What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Collector's Outpost. I am John. So today we're taking a look at another Kenobi prequel lightsaber, episode 1, 2. And when this dropped, a lot of you asked me, how does this look against the 89 Sabers version that I just reviewed? So thank you so much to Vader Sabers for sending this one over. Now, sometime back, I also reviewed for Vader Sabers the V2, the Xeno V2 version of this, which we'll also pull out and take a look at, was very different. Very different. And from when I first did that video to now, my thought process on what lightsabers look like and should look like, and it has very much changed because the technology has changed, the accuracy that has come out has changed, and I look back at that first one versus what's out now, and I'm like, wow, huge difference. And then I also had a chance to take a look at the 89 Sabers version. Now, I am having a hard time comparing the two because they are so darn similar. There are tiny little differences between the two. So let's take a look at this. So before we dig into this and compare them between the first version we took a look at, the 89 version, and this new Zeno V3, if you are new here, thanks so much for coming by and checking out the channel. Please drop down and help support the channel by hitting the like, subscribe, and notification button. And if you are a returning viewer, thanks so much for stopping by again. Let's dig into this. Thank you so much to Vader Sabers. I will put a direct link and discount code for you down in the description if you want to go check this out or anything else that they have. They are located down in Florida, and they do offer great customer service and some custom weathering and some basic repairs. Russell knows so much about these lightsabers, and he's also offering some higher tier stuff in the Grandmaster section on the website where you can find Ultimate Works and 89 Sabers and Elf Sabers. All right, so let's dig into this. I'm really curious to look side by side of what the original Xeno V2 looked like next to this one, and a lot of you asked about the 89 Sabers. So let's dig into this. So right on here, we do have the brand new Xeno V3 Obi-Wan Kenobi prequel lightsaber from episode 1 and 2. And man, this is so good looking, man. And I'll tell you, when you put this next to the 89, it's kind of hard to tell the difference, and I'll point out a few of the differences. So we also have the full manual. Again, this is the Xeno V3, so we have a full manual here and a little walkthrough of the app. It also comes with the famous green Allen wrench, another Allen wrench, and some extra retention screws here. It came with an acrylic stand, and right here we have our USB-C charging cable. And of course, we have our NeoPixel blade, which I have not opened yet, so let's get this baby unwrapped. Bam! Now, I do normally go with the shorter blades. They just, they work better for me, especially in here. So this is the 32-inch, I believe. Could maybe a little smaller. Let's measure. So this is a nice short blade. This looks like about a 28.5-inch blade. And my absolute favorite detail of this whole lightsaber is the fact that they gave us a custom screen-accurate blade plug. You know, a lot of times you get those weird turbine things, and they just make no sense. You know, I'm glad that they finally gave us a really nice display blade plug. Over the last 2.5 years or so of reviewing lightsabers, the quality is getting better and better, and the screen accuracy is just getting so much better. And talking about screen accuracy, here's the original V2, the first Kenobi prequel lightsaber that I reviewed. Not bad, but let's take a look at some of those key differences that really makes this new version stand out like a real movie prop. Now, one of the first things from back then when I first started reviewing is that a lot of the lightsabers, all the Xenos, were coming with the charging port and button on the hilt itself. Now, when I first started reviewing it, I didn't mind it. It's actually really easy to just plug your saber in and everything's right there. You know, it really started bothering me because this just isn't what the lightsabers look like. So you can see, like, in the design here, you have your charging port, the USB-C on top, and then you had the activation button over there. And what they did was cut into the actual hilt, and, you know, it kind of ruined the design. And then over here, these weren't really raised up very high. You know, the grip section here and the silver section in between was very high as well. So there wasn't really a big separation on the grips versus where the bottom half was. They completely changed the whole design. So now the ports are completely gone. You can see we have this more screen accurate design here. And they also lowered the middle section, the silver here in the grips, and the grips are now a little bit higher to be a bit more screen accurate like they actually should be. Now let's move this over here for just a moment and bring in the 89 Sabers version. So this is the 89 Sabers. We recently reviewed this. This Zeno V3 now is so damn close to what the 89 Sabers is. It's not exact, but it's so close. Can we just take a second and just admire this little lineup here of Kenobi prequel lightsabers? Because this is pretty awesome looking. So you can see that this whole design was completely revamped. They changed everything down here. They got rid of the ports, and these little nubbins didn't have any shine through or anything. So they really went above and beyond to get away from their old design. Now, just side by side, this is the 89 version, and this is the Xeno V3 version. It is so hard to tell the difference if you're not really digging in and looking. They both have the shine through on these little nubs over here. They both have your activation button with a little jewel in it, except for the 89 Sabers has the more purple jewel. This just has a clear little jewel in there. And they are virtually the exact same size. Now, some of the basic differences that you'll notice here is that on the 89, we do have that black ring that shows underneath the top of the emitter here, which is screen accurate. Under here, this one is silver. The slopes are slightly different in this section, and the grips in the 89, I know it's gonna be a little hard to see. I bring this up over here. So this is the 89 Sabers. You can see that the inside, the silver, does go in just a smidge deeper than the Xeno version over here. I mean, that is darn good. I mean, it's almost exact. Now, the one thing about the Xeno versus the 89 is that the 89 gave us this gold blade plug, and the Xeno gives us the silver blade plug. Neither one bother me. I really do like this gold blade plug, and I really do like the silver blade plug. I do think, however, that the silver is more screen accurate. All right, let's dig on into the Xeno V3. Of course, when you pop this on off, we do have the gold removable chassis. Now, the gold chassis is stunning looking. I absolutely love these. And we do have a kill switch right on here. Around the back, we have our SD card, and then we have a chassis filled with lights. Now, because this is the Xeno V3, you can use the app and do all your blade configurations, the length of your blade, a couple of things here and there, update the software. So let's dig in right now to the app and just double check to see if our software is up to date. All right, so we're gonna go over here to the last tab and click on to our Saber. And okay, see right here, update software. Our software is out of date. So let's go here. This is on 1.2.2 and we should be at 1.2.5. So let's click on that. Run our update. Now, this only takes a couple of minutes, so it's not very inconvenient at all. There's not a ton of information that it's gotta pull through. You just wanna make sure that when you get this updated, because I did have some problems with the way when I was installing sound fonts, and then when I updated the app, all those problems went away. So you just wanna make sure as soon as you get it, open up the app, connect, and just update your software. Xeno has just come so far since the Xeno V2.
Update successful.
There we go. All right, so by default, everything does turn off, so we have to reset everything. So let's flip the Saber back on.
Power on.
And we're gonna have to go back and reconnect.
App connected.
And let's just go confirm. There we go. We are on the new software 1.2.5. So that one great thing about having the Xeno is obviously the app. You have so much here that you don't get on the Profi stuff, and it really makes me lean towards Xeno most of the time because you can see your battery power and you can adjust your volume and flip through your fonts really fast and do some basic configurations like, you know, if you want to change some of your lighting effects, or for me, like this one, I want to adjust for this blade size. So just go over here and adjust until I get the tip just lit. So we're looking at it probably about 120. Yeah, so around there. We'll leave that about 108 because this is a 28-inch blade. You can even adjust your brightness if you have a little bit of a battery life problem like I might here. So let's leave that down at like 50%. And then you have so many other controls. Now I do tend to turn on the countdown because when you manually do everything on the hilt itself, you'll get an extra beep to tell you where you are in the menu, and I'll show you that too in a minute. And then do go through all of these. There's just tons of settings here, and there's a second page for motion controls. But the main thing for me with the app is always the updating and that blade length, because those are the two things that I do all the time. And then you can go in and change your blade styles. Like this is kind of flickering. You want something just standard.
Fire blade.
I love the fire blade, and I love the basic pulse.
Unstable. Rainbow blade. Candy blade. Cracked blade. Pulse.
So 7 and 1 are really my go-tos.
Blade.
And then you have a couple of different other settings for all of the other stuff here. Blasters. You have your tip drag. You have your force effects, blasters, and all this stuff. All right, let's take a look.
The Collector's Outpost.
So we have our twist on and twist off.
Be safe and kind out there in the world.
Blasters, block ups. So it has a pretty decent sound. It is, just by the nature of this pommel, it is a little bit muffled and it is a little bit quieter than some of the other Xeno V3s. Now, what I was saying about turning on that countdown in the menu is that it's going to tell you when you're flipping through the menu of where you are. So you're going to hear one beep for volume,
Volume low.
and then 2 beeps.
Steady.
You're in your blade styles.
Unstable. Rainbow blade. Candy blade.
It's a lot easier to know where you are in the menu by getting those little bloop sounds.
Photon ignition.
3 is going to be the ignition styles. And 4 bleeps is changing the font.
Whispers of power.
Now you can also change the font really quick by holding the saber upside down and twisting counterclockwise.
The Collector's Outpost.
And then you can also change the color on the hilt itself. So you're gonna hold it upside down, you're gonna hold the power and give a twist counterclockwise.
Color change.
Now you can see that this one's going through the quick color mode. And then you could do the second one, which is the more smoother one, where it'll go through the full spectrum. Same thing, hold down the power, but go clockwise.
Color change.
And then you can see it's gonna scroll through the colors very slow. So there's really not a lot you can't do directly on the hilt. If you want to get through some of the settings are a little bit quicker, you can pull up your app. If you want to set your blade, if you have a 36-inch blade, 32, 28, whatever it happens to be, then you will need the app. And then you'll also need the app to update the software. All right, everybody, that is the episode 1, Obi-Wan Kenobi, Xeno V3, and damn, this thing looks awesome. With this custom blade plug and all, it's so hard to justify a different version, especially if this one's going to be a little bit cheaper. So thank you so much to Vader Sabers for sending this over for everybody to check out. I'll put a direct link and a discount code for you down below. If you're thinking about picking this up or anything else off their website, you'll get 5% off. So let me know your thoughts down in the comments, and while you're down there, do help support the channel by hitting the like, subscribe, and notification button, and I will see you all on the next video. Be safe and kind out there in the world. See ya.